Hello, fellow nerds, and welcome to Nerd Doom, where the table explodes with conversation about anime, games, and geek culture. My name is Mike.
I'm Addie.
Let's get things started. So, hello world. It's been a while.
We're back.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll actually be for real.
A little bit more frequent on releases and everything.
Yeah, especially now. We've been pretty busy in the past. In the first start of the summer at the time.
In the first part of the year in general, we haven't released anything since December.
Right. I mean, what was it? We went through in the equivalence of like 3 cons? 4 cons. No, 3 cons.
Yeah, 3 cons.
Separate. Well, I mean, 3 cons.
2 of them were separate from each other.
Right.
For us.
Yeah.
Because you got to go to Guardian Con.
Well, we started off with MomoCon.
No, does FreeCon count?
Well, no, did we go to FreeCon?
No, we didn't go.
No, we did. No, we did.
Oh, we did.
I did
Briefly.
Yeah, we went for one day, and we went with my sister. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Okay, so we went to FreeCon here in our town. It's a very small convention, hence FreeCon.
Yeah, it's in our hometown in Tallahassee, 850.
And then we went to Momo in Atlanta, which that was an experience.
That so this is the first time we went to a con that was outside of the state. I think.
Long while.
Yeah, in a long time.
Because I've been to AWA a few years back, and SoccerCon in Seattle was my first one.
And first time together. So,
yeah.
And so, like, going to Atlanta, and we stayed at a close friend of ours, your cousin.
Yeah. His friend, my family. What?
Yeah, and so, like, it was interesting. It was the biggest con I've ever been to. Like, it definitely was bigger than Metro, which is our hometown. Our home con, if you will. Our home con. So, like, it was really interesting to go there, and there was so much.
Plus, it was really nice to attend a con rather than work it.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Giga and Snitsnap for taking a few moments to talk with us and take a picture with us. Love you guys. And
yep, thanks for coming out to the con this year. That was fun.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Oh, and Pro ZD. It was awesome to meet him.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That's the chillest dude I've ever seen. Like, you could say something and he'd be like, okay.
He has all the personality of Saitama.
And oh my god, I loved him.
Yeah, and then you went to MegaCon Orlando.
I went to MegaCon Orlando for one day because I had a friend who was flying out of Tampa, and I was like, hey, so yeah, we're going to Tampa. Do you want to go to a con with me on this one day? And she's like, yeah, and I'm like, great, because I really want to meet David Tennant. So my only purpose for this convention, other than to go with my friend, was David Tennant.
Well, originally you weren't even planning to go.
No, because it was
send your friend to go get the thing for you. I had to basically force you to be like, no, just go. And I was like, well, I don't think it's a good. No, just go.
Look, anyone who goes to MegaCon or any Comic-Con type convention can tell you that is expensive.
Well, I mean, it's not even about expensive. It's just a lot because it's
that too.
It's a giant Hall of Fame fest.
It really is.
It's a giant inside of a giant dealer's hall kind of situation, and it's just kind of funny.
Artist Alley was really dope, though.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, we went and trolled that for a while because she was trying to find something to take home with her because she had to fly all the way back to Washington. So she had to find something that was small enough to put in her suitcase and wouldn't get destroyed on the way there. She ended up getting a map of Middle Earth, if I remember correctly. I could be very wrong on that, but she got a really cool map.
That would be interesting. And then 2 weeks ago, I went to Guardian Con, which is no longer Guardian Con anymore. It's now called Gaming Community Expo, which is really awesome. Guardian Con is made of these people that's been doing it for about 5 years now. Originally, it was Destiny Con, and then it was Bungie Con, and then it became Guardian Con, and now it is what it is because it's become way more than that. The biggest cool thing about it is that they do this mostly for charity.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the proceeds that go to it goes to St. Jude Hospital, which they raised. Oof.
How much did they raise this year?
So on ticket sales alone, it was over $3 million, close to $4 million. In all, they made about close to $8 million. They got $8 million donated,
and that's all to St. Jude.
Yeah, it's all to St. Jude.
Whoa!
And so it was huge, and it's one of our funnest because I got to meet a lot of the people in my raid team in Destiny that we.
And some of them you've never met before.
Yeah. So one of them that I would like to say it's a good friend now is J-Dub, or Jonathan. He who he's one of the few people I know that annoys us about when the next episode's gonna come out.
Guess what?
Yeah, he's from North Dakota.
You were gonna say North Carolina, weren't you?
No. I just for some reason Dakota sounded so weird because it's like North Dakota, and like he lives in like the mountains, and like is barely ever with like the worst internet and all that stuff. So it was really nice to meet him. I like learned a lot about him and things of that nature. So it was really cool. And then we met two of our others that was in that live in Orlando, Team Colt. So it was really cool. And then after that, we went to our home con to work at, because we like to work there. Is MetroCon. It's very, the experience is very different.
It really is, like, because we work this one every year. It's a lot of fun because we kind of get behind the scenes of what's going on, and then we get to enjoy other people enjoying it. In a way, we live vicariously through them. But it's kick the cat. I kicked the cat. Not very hard. He's fine. Anyway, we get to live vicariously through everybody and see their enjoyment, because we had a lot of first year goers this year for this con in particular.
So it was very weird how many like day passes we got. So like we learned that every single like day pass was sold out, if I remember correctly, for every day.
Yes, to the point that they had to move into the day passes, which are wristbands, which had to move into the next day's wristbands for that particular day.
Yeah, they had to go to the reserves.
Yeah, they went to the reserves, which were basically the next days.
So that's huge, and that's really huge. And then it was really interesting to have this many people come in, and like the change of security and things of that nature of how things were going.
Well, part of the security change was TCC, because they're remodeling the area.
Well, yeah, and mind you, that's not just for Metro; it's for a lot of cons that they do.
Yeah, they did that with
it's the same with Tampa Bay Comic Con as well.
Yeah, we saw it there too, and the hotel that the convention center is connected to, sort of. There's a little walkway bridge. They were redoing the lobby last time we were there, and now we went back and saw it, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks nice. And then that new restaurant,
it's so much better.
That is amazing. I was like, I haven't had a good whiskey sour in a while since I've been.
And they made it the traditional way too.
Yes, it's the only way.
And she hit me up with a really good White Russian, which I hadn't had in forever.
Yeah, that was super fun. So
anyone who's interested in going next year to MegaCon, which is again in Tampa, Florida, every year that has a theme. Next year's is Man vs. Machine, and it'll be July 23rd to the 26th, 2020.
Which that will be during my birthday that Friday.
I'm sorry?
For next year. I don't know. I always either like I'm always excited and then immediately unexcited as soon as it happens, because I'm so excited because I get to have my birthday at a con.
Well, it's on a Friday this year, next year.
But then I become super unexcited because because we become so busy that like a lot of times I just don't really.
You don't get to do anything.
You don't get to do what I usually like to do, which for me is really just have a couple of drinks and play games. But
well, it'll be on a Friday, so hopefully it won't be as busy.
Yeah, we'll see. So moving on, we looked into some news that came out in the past week or couple weeks. This week, San Diego Comic-Con is happening. It started Thursday, and is going to end on Monday. Some of the things that we pulled out of that was really interesting. Some of which is like.
Well, mind you, there's a lot coming out that we enjoy.
I mean,
but
some
these
of the
ones
things we're not going to mention, like Tom Cruise's new trailer for Top Gun and some other things
that
they
was cool,
put in, and Dark Material stuff of that nature. But yeah, if you ever want to just look up their site. They've already got like half of the trailers that they put out.
A crap ton of stuff.
Yeah, some of the ones we really were interested in: Batman Beyond getting a remastered.
Oh, thank God!
HD remastered finally on Blu-ray.
I feel like I never got to watch the entire series when it was on TV because of either multiple reruns or there were certain episodes that they were just like, "Ooh, we can't put that on here."
No, they put all of it.
Did they?
Yeah,
then I just
they finished the entire thing. It's just that there was a lot of reruns. That was a thing, but they definitely played the whole thing. I haven't watched it in years.
I have not either.
So it would be nice to have it on Blu-ray because
Is that gonna end up in our collection?
Oh yeah. I'm all down for some Will Fight all day, every day.
All right, we'll have to keep an eye out for that one, as should you.
See, other thing, we just recently watched the Star Trek
Picard trailer.
Picard trailer that just came out today.
Oh, I'm so excited to see how this turns out because I like.
As of this recording.
Yeah, I kind of like how they're from what the trailer is going, where it's going. Where he looks like he's been retired, so he's running the wine farm or the winery. and you can tell he's not too happy with being retired necessarily.
Well, it seems like it's either that or it's. I think it seems like he's perfectly fine with being retired. I think it's just that he's forced into a situation he has to come out of retirement.
True.
Sort of.
We don't fully know the whole plot.
But then again, based on the trailer,
so.
it didn't seem like he's involved. But I didn't expect him to be as involved as he was, because the way they said it was originally like, oh, well, he's no longer part of the Starfleet and he's not really going to be the way he was before. But I was like, oh, but he basically still like makes a crew like throughout the trailer. Like what it seemed like in the trailer, he still has to pick up a crew.
Well, that's because of whatever this random chick that shows up.
All we got out of it is that there's the Borg. There's what's her face?
7 of 9.
7 of 9, which is really cool.
I love that she's back in this.
And so that was really interesting. I don't know. It's one of those things where it comes out next year, so we'll see when things come.
We're gonna have to. It'll be only, I believe, on CBS Access.
All Access. Yeah.
All Access.
We're gonna CBS All Access. So like it'll be another one of those things where I'm just waiting another season of like Discovery before I can just binge watch all of it.
I've been told that after season 1 it gets really good.
Yeah, that's what a couple of my uncles tell me. They liked it a lot better after especially season 3 actually. Apparently.
Yeah, my coworker told me all about it. Like he didn't tell me all about it. He was like, "Oh, you need to watch it. It's really, really good." I'm like, "Okay, shh."
Yeah. After that, if you want to know right now, all 255 Robotech episodes are out for streaming for free.
On what platform?
Oh God, it's through this it's like Filmster or something of that nature. It's some particular streaming platform that another company opened up. That it's just a bunch of free movies and other things. So all of Robotech is going to be on that, and you can pretty much find that anywhere. And so that's really exciting because I love Robotech. Robotech is one of my favorites, and it would be nice to rewatch all of that. And I think and mind you, for all you people that's going to be like, actually, yes, it's technically the second version of Robotech, not the first version, which was just about like 20 some odd episodes. This is the Robotech that lasted years.
The one that everyone's more likely familiar with due to how long it was?
That's the one that has like the iconic US US version of the opening.
Okay.
Like just opening up and seeing the main character and fly off, very Top Gun-ish like kind of Robotech series.
And next we have the English dub trailer for My Hero Academia season 4.
Yeah.
We've already seen the Japanese version. Now Funimation has released the English dub version, and I'm hyped for it because this arc in the series is really interesting for character development, but also you kind of get introduced to some new villains that you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So the thing one of the thing is the trailer is exactly the same as the Japanese sub. So if you haven't already watched it, it's nice to see. I'm pretty excited for it, especially since we just came out of Metricon, which we got to see a lot of the cast from My Hero be there.
They were super nice.
So it was really nice to get that in English like right then.
And we got to meet someone. Has she been announced? Because they show her in the trailer. I'm gonna say we got to meet
her credits is on behind the scenes. Are you talking about Emily's character? Or yeah, she's technically in it right now.
We're not gonna say who just in case, but we got to meet someone who she wasn't an official guest, but she was there with her significant other, and we got to meet her too. So that was really cool.
Yeah. So there was that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what happens. That comes out in fall of this year, which I believe it's going to be October specifically.
Possibly, we have to double check that, but don't quote us on the release of that just yet.
Probably September, but like I know it's in the fall, so there's that. Another thing we're pretty excited about.
I'm super excited about this.
I mean, okay, you don't have. It's not a competition, okay?
Oh no, but like the history, like documentary watching part of me is just oh yeah.
Yeah, I know you love documentaries. Moving on. So Netflix is coming out with a new documentary called Into the Anime, which
Enter the Anime.
What did I say?
You said Into the Anime?
The Anime.
Either way, it's really cool. But
so it's Into the Anime. Mm-hmm. So like it kind of follows this person that's going to be the host of it that is supposed to know nothing about anime and kind of just goes around and talks to like big names in anime. A lot of focus. There's always going to be a lot of focus on the Netflix original animes that came out, like Castlevania, Gretzko, and the anime that just came out next Friday, is either this Friday or next Friday, which is King and Ashura, which is like a fighting anime. Basically, think of it like a side story of Baki. Honestly, truly.
And they're gonna have interviews with people from Saint Seiya. I'm not gonna butcher the Japanese names. I don't want to
Yoko
be
Takahashi,
disrespectful.
who helmed the Evangelion series.
Oh goodness.
Shinji Aramaki, who has done things like Apple
yes,
Seed,
and Fullmetal Alchemist. That one I'm looking forward to.
He's going to be directing on the new Netflix Ghost in the Shell with Kinji, which is super exciting. So yeah, a lot of things are gonna be exciting about that. We don't know too much about the actual how it's gonna be. All we know is gonna be a lot of interviews, a lot of different things. We'll see how it goes. It comes out
August 5th.
August 5th. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Next month. I'm really excited. I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, other than that, I didn't really see anything else like I was really super interested in. That isn't like part of our next part. But to know about this, since we're super excited, it's time for a minute in hype. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hey Mike, do you want to be the very best there ever was?
Oh God.
You're gonna catch them?
If you don't already know, a new Pokemon is coming out.
Pokemon game to be specific. There are new Pokemon. You're not wrong.
New Pokemon game, fine. New iteration of the Pokemon video game series.
Yes.
Called Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be very different than the others. This is gonna be if
new
you ever played
region.
Huh?
So sorry.
There's a Galar region.
Yep.
And like unlike before, if you ever played Pokemon Let's Go, the look is gonna be very similar to that.
I think Let's Go was like kind of a test run for that type of system.
If anyone has played that game, it's everything about it is a test run. Now, yeah, there's a lot more things that are gonna come out about it. They released at least the 3 new starters. That's gonna be it. They released a couple of Pokemon that's gonna be about it. They released a lot of core mechanics, including the Dynamax, which I'm kind of not super into.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I have to see how it play out throughout the entire game. Yeah. I'm curious to see what other new Pokemon there might be.
Personally, it's all about the new Pokemon and the feel of the more world like exploration parts of it. Because man, does this thing huge! Like,
is this gonna be more free? Do you think it's gonna be more free roaming, or do you think we have to follow a direct path? Or
I really hope so. I think it would probably be much like how X and Y was, where it feels like it's free roam and you can walk to wherever you want to walk to because you have more directions to go certain places. But I still feel like it will have like I wouldn't say a linear feel to it, but probably a natural way of coordinating you, like taking you to the right path,
right
situation. But mind you, I mean, every one of the Pokemon are technically like free roam kind of situation. Like, have you finished the main story?
I guess the better question is: it more open world?
Yeah, it's a little bit more open world than it is before. Like,
dude, the trainers.
Yeah. So the gym leaders. The gym leaders is probably the most exciting part to me.
I'm a little upset about one of the things about the gym leaders, though.
Is the fact that
it, like, depending on which version you get, Sword or Shield, you're either going to get the fighting gym leader or you're going to get the ghost gym leader.
That's not the only one that's going to be the case.
Really?
I think there's a couple that's going to be like that. Maybe. I think, but there was emphasis that there's different. They're going to course and much like how certain Pokemon that you get, it's going to be, oh, well, you don't get to do this here versus you do here. I bet you it's the same way as the Dynamax raids as well.
You think?
I think so. Like, I have a firm belief that's going to be, because there's only certain Pokemon you can get through the Dynamax raids. You can't get...
That might be an online thing rather than a in-game.
No, but you can do Dynamax like in-game. You don't have to be online.
No, I meant the raids.
No.
No?
The raids are part of the game.
Oh, okay.
That's not an only online thing. It coerces you to want to have others with you because it's probably harder. Yeah. But you can do it on your own if you want.
See how that turns out. Like I said, there's a lot of new mechanics going into this new game, so it'd be interesting to see how it is. This particular one will be released on the Switch series. Has there been any news of it being released on the DS systems?
No.
Okay, so only Switch?
On the Switch.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, just assume DS is dead. Like, it is over for the DS. There is no reason for them to ever like try to like. I mean, there's still games that comes out on it, but especially with the Switch Lite coming out, I just believe that there's gonna be barely a reason to put more emphasis on the 3DS at this point.
Yeah. Now, for Pokemon Sword and Shield, the release date has come out for November 15th
Yes.
of this year, which I'm very happy about. So, you know we're going to have a Pokemon night, right?
Yeah,
Which means I also need to finish Let's Go.
Which is basically like, oh, cool! I get to buy a Switch and also the games.
Yep.
Just so I get the chance.
See,
to
the problem
play.
is once I get a Pokemon game, I play it and I don't let go of it. So if it's on a certain console and we only have one console, he's not getting the console.
Yeah, it is very true. And then we have never. I was like, we've been buying them together, each version since X and Y.
Yep.
And so like
that was my first one for mine.
Yeah, and so like the best one to start on, honestly, truly, personally. Unless you go original, and then that's pretty good. Which you got a chance, you got kind of a chance to feel how the original feels like on Let's Go.
Yeah, which I enjoy.
But yeah, we've been doing that for a while, and so like we only have one Switch right now, and so it is not even remotely a thing to not have it. More than likely, I'm probably gonna get the Switch Lite, honestly and truly. I feel like. The only reason you would buy it because and there's kind of a segue to the new stuff is the new Switches.
New Switch.
So they're releasing a Switch Lite and
an upgraded version of the Switch.
Upgraded Switch, which the upgraded Switch is really just an upgraded battery. That's all it is.
So the new battery life on the upgraded Switch is going to go to 9 hours.
Yeah,
that's off
the
dock.
Maximum, between 4 and 9 hours. Where right now it's like 3.5 to like 6,
which isn't horrible.
Majority of the time is about 3 hours.
Yeah.
On it without the dock, and then like the only thing I was scared about is if they were going to change the resolution on like the light, which they didn't. If anything, I feel like the light is actually a lot more interesting because like without the separate Joy-Cons, without the HD rumble, changing up the D-pad to something that's a little bit more, nice to feel.
Did they take off the motion sensing on the light?
Yeah, because you wouldn't need. Oh,
like if you move the console in your hand, is that going to cause stuff on the screen?
That's a good question. I want to say yeah, because I don't know if it's not in there or not. I want to say. Did
I hear they took that off of the new Switch as well?
No.
Okay.
It's literally just the same as the other Switch, but just with a new battery.
Okay.
A better battery. That's all it is. Which is in hindsight, it's kind of disappointing because a lot of people were hoping that they were announced like the Switch 2 kind of thing, like
a little soon for that,
or like the Switch Pro, like a very high updated Switch that had better things, had Bluetooth connectivity, had like a better screen, possibly a bigger screen.
And for all we know, Nintendo is making their way towards that. Yeah, right now,
maybe. But I don't know if they even need to, honestly and truly. Like I don't feel like that. But then again, I'm not a person that plays my Switch on like a plane for like 6 to 8 hours. So I'm not that person.
No, which is fine. So the Switch Lite retail value looking like it's going to be roughly about $200, and then the upgraded Switch about $300, give or take.
It's the same. The new Switches will be the same as the current Switch right now, which is at $300, and then the Switch Lite will be at $200, which is a steal.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, like it's a great price for something of that nature. It's very much going to be like the 2DS where people are just going to eat that up because it's.
And what's really cool is it comes in multiple colors.
Yay! It's like the iPhone of Nintendo.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nintendo, Fire Emblem.
So there's a couple of games that I'm super excited about that came out recently. Fire Emblem 3 Heroes just came out yesterday. It's the new iteration of the series. Very much, I wouldn't say very different, but it has a very updated version of the like tile based strategic game that we all know. Have you played Fire Emblem Heroes?
I've never played any Fire Emblem game.
So you never played the mobile game?
I've never played any of them.
Okay, it's a great game, and it has an amazing storyline in most of the games. In this one, it's a very different, where you play as a character that is kind of a teacher that
I saw the synopsis in the trailer for it, and it looked really good.
yeah, it's a really cool story. It has like it has a thing about 3 factions. It teaches about all the other things. It doesn't just focus on like the individual things. It's like cool, like
So
interesting
Fire
kind of-
Emblem Harry Potter. Sort of.
You're not. I mean, in a military standpoint, yes, but not like a sorting hat and magic stuff. I mean, there's magic, but it's not that extensive. I mean, it's very good. I love the series for a while. I've never been one to finish it because I'm horrible at strategic games. But I love the games in general. So I play Fire Emblem Heroes all the time, and so it'd be nice to see all that. And they already announced that they're gonna put the new characters from 3 Heroes in the Fire Emblem Heroes right in like the next week.
Nice.
There's that. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 Black Order finally came out last week on Friday. It's the next iteration of the Ultimate Alliance series. I don't think you ever played it.
I've seen people play it, but I personally have not played it. The only thing I've ever gone towards in terms of Marvel is going to be the Marvel vs. Capcom series.
Yeah, true. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 more so.
My
at the time.
favorite.
But like a lot of favorite fighting games are like 2, only 2. So yeah, this one's just the next iteration. It's a top-down action RPG game. It's very focused on the co-op feel into it. Has a lovely. Usually they have a really nice story and really
the graphics looked really good on it.
Yeah. It has really interesting point factors into lore of the comics and things of that nature. So it's a really nice game to play. I'm pretty excited to play it. It's one of those ones I plan to pick up pretty soon and be like, hey, who wants to co-op with me? Let's all go do things, and then fight over who gets to be Captain America. So there's that. That's all the games I can think of that came out. But shout out to
Dragalia Lost is another Nintendo game.
Yeah, mentioning mobile games. Dragalia Lost is a Nintendo game that came out. That's been a year.
Yeah, give or take.
It's been a year since like actually recently. It was because they came out with like a year like thing.
Oh, that's what that was for.
Yeah, it was to celebrate a year of Dragalia Lost. It's a very fun game. It's like another action RPG style game.
They're up to it's the let's see here. The story based version of the game is up to 9 chapters right now, and the 10th chapter will come out in the next update.
Yes.
So in between, while you're waiting for that to come out, they have special events that go on. This current event we're playing is not our favorite, and it's fairly rough.
It's so hard.
Like once you get past like trying to get a certain level, it gets harder than it needs to be or should be, I think. But
I think it's also the fact that we're finally getting to the point where the grind is the most like extensive.
The grind is real
because
in this
now
game.
we're getting to the point where we just constantly have to like play just to get the materials we need to upgrade our stuff. And so that's like
and then you try and summon stuff and hope to God you get what you want.
Oh God, please don't make me do more water.
I'm trying so hard to get another wind dragon. There are dragons in this if you haven't been able to tell from the title.
Yeah, it's essentially like an RPG about like being like turning into dragons.
Basically, you're a prince of a country that's getting taken over by a dark entity that's possessing your dad, and then it possesses your sister, and she kicks you out and turns you into a traitorous prince, quote unquote. And then you create your own kingdom, and then you're trying to fight back against her bad kingdom, and then you ally yourself with various different dragons.
Right.
But you can also turn into that dragon. It's really, that's the weird part, but it's really fun.
Yeah, I really do like the game, and it was nice to find more people that like the game.
Yeah, the MetroCon that we were at, we found a lovely artist, Allie, Will-O-Wisp, I believe is the artist's name. And she had, forgot the character's name all of a sudden. It's the fireworm.
Was it? No, it's not.
Yeah, it's Brunhilde, that's what it was.
Brunhilde.
She had some artwork for Brunhilde, which is beautiful artwork, and then she had like a really dope like 2-sided keychain that I got because you don't find that stuff very often. So yeah, So that was nice to see. And then we friended her on the game. So yeah, if you're bored and you want a game that's not going to kill your phone in 5 seconds and just casual play, Dragalia Lost. We're not sponsored by them or anything. We just think it's a really cool game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the things that came out. Get interested. They're all good. It's all real good. And Cuphead recently came out on Switch. So if you like that stuff, please play it. And there's a couple others that's really exciting to play, but all of those are on the Switch and currently loving it. So awesome.
No.
So to take things a little bit more seriously, we heard some bad news.
This past Thursday, I believe. I don't know if anyone's been keeping up with it, but some sad news out of Japan. Kyoto Animation was target of an arson attack. The Studio One in Kyoto, Japan, went up in flames and heavy casualties. They haven't had something like this in quite some time. If anyone is not familiar with Kyoto Animation themselves, you may be more familiar with some of their works. They have movies like A Silent Voice, series like K-On, Violet Evergarden, Free. What are the other ones?
Clannad, Haruhi Suzumiya, Nichijou, Lucky Star,
Air,
Conan, Full Metal Panic, Fumofu, and Second Raid. A lot of very good a lot of very good series that all were very known for their atmospheric nature and background, very wonderful soundtracks. Very Kyoto Animation was also very known for their practices and with their employees and the way they treat their employees, especially since most of the employees they hire are
women.
So it was very a big deal.
Yeah, and they were an amazing studio from what we can hear. Like even the employees and like the neighbors that were around the studios had nothing but good things to say about them.
Yeah, it's a little crazy like how something like this could even happen to something like that.
Now it's almost unthinkable. Like, why would you go after an animation company that way?
I still don't even really know. Like, it's not like it's even still known of like his reason.
No, like the cause of they do know these are things that the Japanese police have released, and that this is what we know. It's on multiple news networks. The cause of the fire was flammable liquid. We don't know what kind that the person brought to the site, spread it around, and then lit it on fire.
Ironically, in some of the reports, in some cases, they were poured onto.
Yeah, it was even
persons and employees. And some staff within the building as well.
And even the suspect himself he may have just inadvertently got himself because he was also injured in the fire. We're not going to name this person. The Japanese police have released who this person is. We are not going to mention him. We're not going to even give him that dignity because he doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, we're not going to give him the
airtime.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. Instead, we're going to just focus on what we in remembrance and memories and honoring the victims of the arson, unfortunately.
And if you're looking for a reason why, supposedly this is very unclear. It was supposedly that he was supposedly yelling or shouting about how like they stole some work from him. That is not confirmed. So that is, again, police are still investigating the reasoning behind this. Of the 68 employees that were there that day, I think 33 died on scene, and another person has passed in hospital. So that's 34 victims total. One of the victims possibly might be director Yasuhiro Takamoto. I'm saying it slowly so I don't mess it up. As of right now, he is missing.
And to let you guys know, he's the director of Kyoto Animation. He's
one of, yeah.
I mean, and he's one of the big ones. He's been doing it. He's been there since '94, and he is known for being directing a lot of
some of our favorite works. So
some of the favorite works. So,
Sentai Filmworks, who is the Texas-based partner with Kyoto Animations, started a GoFundMe. Right now, it has reached 1.7 million as of July 20th. Its original goal was 750,000. So they've blown past that. As of right now, the plans for the funds are to go to the victims' families and to help the studio. Um, Obviously, other than what GoFundMe takes in part for their fees, all that fund is planned to go towards the Kyoto Animation people.
Right.
So,
So yeah, if you guys would please take the time to donate for the GoFundMe club. If you ever want to help out the studio in any way, um, donate to the GoFundMe club.
mhm.
Don't which we will leave a description of the
In
link
the link,
in the link in the description, and then we'll also if you could also if you don't want to put in the GoFundMe club, donate to Animate, who are big about putting in retailing for things including KyoAni and things of that nature, and also buy directly from their site. If you could just buy their works and things of that nature, that would
mhm.
be really big.
And
And
that's going to help them recover too. Um, so I see here that the president of Kyoto Animation is considering demolishing the building after everything.
yeah, so there's so recent news with Anime's news network an interview. They were talking about how the president was considering demolishing the first studio building and erecting a public park and with a monument that would be in honor of the victims there, and possibly holding a memorial ceremony. That's all we got out of it so far. He just put out a state. He just recently put out a statement talking about how this is a huge blow and can't believe something like this happened, and it is obviously a huge blow to their to everything they work for and things of that nature.
And it's not just the company that's taken a blow. We as anime fans are taking a huge hit. We've just lost 34 amazing artists, amazing animators, and people who put their heart and soul and love into these shows that we in turn love and enjoy watching and listening to. So this is a huge tragedy. And unfortunately, some people online are saying some horrible things. Like, they're not even considering like the loss of life. They're all like, "Oh, what happened to the anime? What's going to happen to this?" Like, don't consider what's going to happen with the anime. I mean, yeah, it's a bummer, but people lost their lives.
I was like, and again, we're not going to focus on anything like that because we don't want to. Again,
Hmm.
we much rather just focus on remembering all the good things about it.
Yeah.
Things like for me, I've been a huge fan of Kyoto Animation for a very long time. I know in young age I was watching the movies for Clannad and things of that nature, and some of the earlier works than that. So like for me, it's a huge like heartbreak for me. It was a huge shock for something that happened, especially since like one of the people I was working with in Metrocon happened to play the English voice of Tomoyo from Clannad. So it was very weird for me to hear something like this as soon as I come home after that. And some of my favorite works that they've ever made, and probably down hands down one of my top 10 movies of all time was Silent Voice, because it put a lot about what redemption meant for someone like me,
And then also kind of going through and getting out of your head, if you will.
yeah.
It's a great, if you haven't seen that movie or read the series, I highly suggest doing that. But one of my other favorite ones that I really enjoyed that they put out, and it came out on Netflix originally, um, Violet Evergarden.
Right.
The animation style and the artwork and the color of this particular show is beautiful beyond all belief. The storyline and plot is amazing. It's basically about this. Basically, she was a child soldier, and now that the war is over and she's lost this person that she really cared about, but she doesn't fully understand because emotionally she's stunted
Right.
in a way. So she's having to rediscover herself, rediscover how to live without this person, and it's amazing. So it's these emotionally impactful, and not just here's this anime to be funny and hee hee hee. It's thought provoking, it's touching. There's some really great stuff out there. So it's not just cartoons to be cartoons or anime to be anime. And I think that Kyoto Animation was able to prove that.
Yeah, and I think there's other things that's just as good in terms of comedy and things of that nature.
Oh no, yeah, they're
like
really good.
Lucky Star, Nika Joe, and the Fumofu series was some of the funniest forms of like comedy I've ever watched. Like I thought that nothing could be as funny as Nichijou for me, and then they come out with Kobayashi, and just like Jesus
Oh yeah,
Christ,
Kobayashi's.
comes out with one of the most wholesome like comedies I've ever watched.
It's so good.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's and for us, this is a lot of us started our club back when we were in college too.
Oh God.
Because I remember forcing our people to watch a bit of Clannad and a bit of Haruhi, a lot of Haruhi.
Haruhi was hilarious.
Yeah,
And I remember borrowing Lucky Star from you.
Yeah, and yeah, Lucky Star was one of my sister's first anime, and so it's a big deal because she still has
The
she still
original
has
DVD set?
the whole series, yeah, at home. The singles that when I bought them as singles with the shirt and everything, and so it's really weird to have to talk about this in this way. It's such a travesty. So
No, it is a travesty. And this isn't to say that Kyoto Animations is gone. They're gone forever. We're never getting anything back. No, they have lost some works. It's going to take them a while to rebound. They still have Studio 2 in Tokyo, and I think one other studio somewhere in Japan. I don't know exactly where, unfortunately.
So yeah, it's not like it's going to be anything, but we're taking the time to just remember what happened and bring on it and try to put some sort of condolences. So for the people, for all the victims and the families of those victims, for KyoAni, we humbly give our condolences and hope a very prosperous and ease time for all this and for all the victims themselves. I hope you all rest well. Wherever you go, whether you believe in reincarnation or heaven or anything of that nature, I hope things go well with you on the other end.
And yeah, so we stand with y'all, and we appreciate you sharing your loved ones with us through their art, and we hope to see something bright and wonderful come out of this horrible tragedy.
Yeah. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and end it for the day. We're trying to do things a little bit new, trying to be a little bit more organized.
I think we might do a couple of random ones.
Yeah.
Just to be fun.
Yeah, and we'll probably have some random times. We still plan to have guests
Freestyle.
every once in a while to talk about random stuff that we don't really think about. I've just recently learned that our numbering system's way off, and I just decided to keep it. So technically, this is supposed to be episode 12, but it's technically the 13th episode.
Ooh, this better be a good one.
Yeah, so there's that. So we want to give a shout out to our close friend Liz. She made our new logo recently, and I'm working right now to get the website updated and things of that nature. But we have to give her a huge shout out for that. If you could follow her on
Instagram at Eli Hamilton Art. Again, that's Eli Hamilton Art on Instagram. She's really good. She's awesome. I love her art style.
Yeah, gotta love her. If any, and also, please follow us on social media at Twitter, Facebook, eventually Instagram. We don't know if we're gonna make that or not.
I don't know.
Yeah, and you can always listen to us on Podbean, Spotify,
Speedify,
Spotify, iTunes, and Google. Yeah, just look for Nerd Doom with a 3 instead of an E. And until next time, see you nerds later.
See ya.